Always starting on mute. Good morning, everyone. It's Saturday. Garage sale day. Garage sale day. Do you know what a garage sale is? It's garage sale day. Okay. Anyone who knows? Oh, man. You know what? I hate when it cuts off like that because they have the option of just fading it out. Didn't work. It's okay, though.
The fade is highly preferable to the hard cutoff.
Yeah, it like doesn't give the mind a good transition. That's okay. That's okay. It's Saturday. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Today I challenge you.
Hang on. Before you challenge me, tell me about these garage sales. You got me into this whatnotting, and I have not yet opened it up. Now I'm a little bit concerned that if I start doing this, this has become a habit that takes up more time that I don't have. So what is this? Is it just like a giant live eBay auction?
Is it like a giant live? No, it's like I would say it's QVC on steroids. But it doesn't mean anything to you. I know it does. But it doesn't mean anything to you if you don't want any of the products. Like, so if you were to see like this pop up, what does this mean to you?
Well, I know what it is.
Okay.
And do I want it? Not really at the moment, but I like how it's shiny.
Well, I'm gonna start a bid right now. I'm gonna start an auction. Auction's gonna start at $1, and anybody can bid on it. Right now, this is not happening. Anyone, we're not doing this. I'm just letting Jason know how Whatnot can work. So Whatnot is basically like if you want to find a hyper specific collectible, or maybe not hyper specific, it could be cookware. You can find almost anything on there. Art, or even art supplies. You can find that too.
Oh, and you need brushes. Okay. All right. You sold me. I'll try it.
So you can do those things, and you can usually find things for cheap. So today, our man Blaze, good morning. I don't know if you're watching, but Blaze is a good connector of people. I've seen him live do this. The first time I saw him live, and I was very impressed with it, was at the wine party. Gary Vaynerchuk threw a wine party in New York City. He came here and we went there, and his ability to network in the moment was pretty amazing. So one thing he did is he saw everyone trying to sell some of these things, especially within our community. And he was like, whoa. Why are we all just trying to kind of do our own thing? Why don't we all kind of work together on this? So he was the first person I've ever known on Whatnot within the community, to be completely honest. And because he's been on there for a long time selling comics, but he was like, look, why don't we make a schedule? So let's all have a garage sale. Everyone has 30 minutes, sign up. And then he was able to make sure that what happens is that everyone goes into the first person's garage sale, and then everyone just raids or gets pulled along into the next one. And then, so by the end of the day, because today's running for what, 14 hours, Blaze? Is that what's going on? 14 hours or 16 hours? It's going to be a long day. It's starting at 11, I think, maybe even earlier. I forget. And so it's going to go the whole day. Everyone's going to kind of watch, and you can look for things like collectibles specifically here with VeeFriends. And so if there's things that you felt were too expensive, well, maybe you can find it during the garage sale. So it's really cool. It's a community event.
So if I could bring it into the real world, you're saying that it's kind of like, let's say we all live in the same neighborhood, and let's say I live on the corner street and I have a garage sale, and then we just go to the neighbor's house who's also having a garage sale, and then so on and so forth. Is that
exactly? Yeah.
Is that a good metaphor?
Yeah. So everyone can, I think, move their things, and they also probably can get, people might not see it, right? It's like, okay, you're getting together to do it. So now you can move the things, because I'm trying not to say get rid of. But you can move your product and people can buy it and you get more eyes on it. So it's pretty cool.
Sounds addicting.
Blaze, well, the garage sale thing, I wouldn't say is, no, yeah, it is addicting. I spent all day watching last time we did it, but I also was selling on one of the days. I did not sell this day because it's Sloan's birthday party weekend, so I wasn't going to be able to have my attention on there. Sometimes I'm all or nothing, so I knew that I just needed to make sure that I was going to be available. That's all. That's all.
Happy birthday, Sloan, if she can hear me there.
She had a fun day. We just learned that someone broke her bunk bed, so we don't know what happened. But you know what? That's the cost of having a party. So
yeah,
and it still works. It's not unsafe.
Did you guys have people at your house? Has she had a sleepover at your place yet, or not yet? Are we there yet?
Yeah, not like a large one. Yeah. I still am kind of against sleepovers. One, because I knew that I slept out of the house when I was younger a lot. And so it was something where I was like, I feel like I don't want that like missed connection. So I was like, I don't want that. But then also the safety aspect of things. I just hear so many stories of, women who are like, yeah, it was just my friend's dad or, something. And so I want to make sure that I'm being smart about not just kind of like having someone, invite my kid over and I'm just kind of saying yes right away. So yeah.
I get you.
But yeah, we are doing a larger sleepover. Yesterday was a sleep under. It was a sleep under with all the Sloan's school friends. So they were all here from the end of school until like 9:00. And so that was fun. They did a Christmas movie at the end. It was a battle to figure out which one they wanted to watch. I thought they were all being way too democratic. I would have just thrown one on and said, deal with it. But they all took votes. And then they all left. They just played and they left. And then today she's doing a sleepover with like our closer group of friends, her closer group of friends. So like people in the building. But like we end up having, like, we live in a building here in Brooklyn. Like all the kids, and it's nice now because they're all kind of just like, they just go out and they kind of go down the hall and play with each other, and it's really cool. So it's a good thing.
I like the idea of the sleep under. Our girls like the idea of sleepovers, but then they end up just wanting to be home, which I guess is kind of a good thing that they like it here.
Yeah.
But they'd rather stay there late than sleep over. So I like that they still like to be around, especially my 11-year-old.
They like to still be around at your house.
Well, it's like they like
house, you're saying?
I guess they just like to sleep in their own bed. So,
yeah.
Which eliminates the driving in the morning, and that part I like a lot.
Win for sure. So much driving done over there. I don't miss it. Yeah. There is something really nice about not needing to. Who popped out? Oh my goodness! Look at this guy.
What's up, man?
Good morning, December 7th.
We were just talking about the garage sale and how great you are putting together.
Oh, thanks. I didn't get to chill it as much as I wanted to, but I hope we're cooking with oil now, where a lot of people have built their audiences and know how to like push their stuff out. And man, I just have a terrible migraine. I'm not doing good, but it's always good to see friends.
I'm so sorry you don't have a good head right now. Where are you headed to?
I just went to Orange Theory, which I had a migraine the whole time, but they're doing this 12 days of Christmas right now, where if you work out 6 of the 12 days, you get a Christmas mug. And so, I can't not try and earn my Christmas mug. So there you have it.
I didn't think the mug would get people moving like that so much. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I bet you could sell that mug for a good little bit of change.
I did that with the zombie. I thought about that with the zombie shirt they did for their Halloween thing. And I mean, maybe you would have made $20. So, but I mean, maybe not. Why you want to buy it?
No, I'm still like, I'm mildly interested. Well, more than mildly, in this garage selling. Are you guys like only selling cards? We can talk about this later, but I'm just like, I'm I'm interested in this little community thing. I mean, it's probably not little now. I feel like behind the times. We'll talk later. We'll chat later.
You should join in
Okay.
January. And it's all just like, we're all just affiliated with, we're not really affiliated. We're just all friends that were brought together through VFriends. And a lot of people sell VFriends stuff, but other people sell other things too. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll chat later.
I do feel that there will be some newer things sold today. Some maybe not just exclusively VFriend stuff. So yeah, no, people were doing like sports cards last time. But again, that's not just like Whatnot is. But can I ask you guys a question? Because this is what I love about you guys. And I feel like Blaze, both of you guys have this. I know you do. So if you guys don't have an answer, I'm gonna be upset and I'm gonna call you out because I think that I understand where your heads are at. And so please don't BS through this question, okay? You hear me?
Yep.
I hear you.
Okay. So screw your migraine, Blaze, and think about this. I'm sorry, that was really mean. I really care about you. I'm hoping your head doesn't hurt.
But if you get me your question, I will answer it truthfully.
Okay, guys, we're thinking that you're so busy right now. I know, we're all really busy. But my question is this, based on today's reading, what's a big goal? A big goal, because I know you have one. A big goal, a big dream. You have these. I know. Blaze, you have thousands of them every day. But what is one of those goals or dreams that you've been putting off because you feel that you're too busy with work, with parenting, with anything else at all?
Good one.
Blaze, you're starting because you only have 2 minutes.
And you have a migraine.
What my mind immediately goes to is like, I do a lot of activities with the kids and they have a good life. We do Legos, they go to the trampoline park, we play at the Y, they do lacrosse, they do Tiger Scouts, but there's two things that Bryson really wants to do that I just haven't really been able to unlock for him yet with his 6.5 years in life, and that's fishing and golf. And so those are two things that I just really need to I want to pull the trigger on.
Okay. Man, I feel your head exploding in my head right now. But maybe it's because your phone rattles sometimes when you hit bumps, and I'm like, oh, no. Can I just have a follow-up for you before you go?
Sure.
Okay. Sorry to make you think, but I love making you think. I love asking questions. So if you need to reclaim some time to have this, I just want to know, is there a pocket of time, a small pocket of time, a large pocket of time in your day, in your week, in your month that you think that you can reclaim, not so much for yourself, but sounds like, for you and maybe individual kids to kind of let them have these experiences? Where in your life could you possibly be like, okay, I'm just got to schedule this, make the time?
I think the golf one is hard, but I think the fishing one is just like put a pole in the car with a little tackle box. When spring rolls around, we pick the worms up off the driveway, and then we live by the canal. So just like randomly, if we're not in a rush somewhere, all right, let's pull over and cast these rods and get some guppies. That's a fish term, I think. I just heard it once.
You just said that exactly the way that I would say something that I would never end up doing, but I would tell someone that I'm going to plan to do it. When would you actually do that? It's in the spring. Is there a better month during the week?
I mean, for Julie, it's probably like days they get picked up out of school. But the other thing is like we have a place that's very easily accessed, like a house on the lake. There's no reason that we can't be going.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Go to your lake house and go fishing.
So yeah, that's an easy one. So yeah, so I don't have an excuse now. Now I just feel like a silly Willy.
Good. Thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate it. I like you answering questions. That was great. But if you don't know why I'm asking this is today, if you got to go, Blaze, you're all good. Really, it's because of this. I'm trying to look over where I wrote only half of a note because I don't really know everything about Susan Straight. Have you guys listened to Susan Straight before? Or
No.
read Susan Straight? Got it. Well, author, whatever. She was highlighted in today's reading, and she's basically an author. And it was like, hey, we're all busy, but Susan Straight did it, so you should be able to do it. And so what they used, Ryan Holiday used her as an example and said, okay, well, she would walk her kid in the heat. And then she would wait for them to fall asleep as she was walking them. And then she would stop and she'd sit down and she'd sit on a curb and she'd start writing her novel. And then she wrote a whole novel that way. And as she was doing that, people would throw money at her because they thought she was homeless, which I was like, I wonder if she kept the money or not. I was like, maybe she made a lot of money doing that. But
wait,
she would.
I missed that part. Was that part in there? People thought she was homeless because she was in the street. Or did you just make that up?
No. I mean, Ryan Holiday may have made it up for points, but it was in there. So it was. I'm just making light of that one point, but the idea of like people were offering her money because they thought that she was homeless because she's there sitting on a curb with a baby, right? And so, but anyway, she apparently had a great career, novelist, writer, but that's how she started. So it was that whole thing about, do we actually have enough time to do these things, which is, challenging you all to think, what's that goal or that dream, right, that you feel like you've been putting off because you're too busy? Because Susan Straight could do it, so that means that you could too. That's where we're at.
So I think the story's good. It's true, I guess. I guess it's a true story, right? But I think the point that I'm kind of seeing it as is what if it's whether it's kids or I guess kids, if it's kids or not. I think it's more about like kind of filling the time in between the time you have to spend with your kids or raising kids with whatever that thing is that you want to do. So like if you take I guess an analogy that I would compare this to is like, let's say you're building a wall, like with rocks and such. And those times where you're with your kids or your family, or like the bricks or the rocks or something, that time that, God, this is terrible. This is not good. So scratch that.
I was gonna say the wall is really starting to sound not that strong,
it's not good.
But it's okay.
So
it's okay.
Let's redo that. But I think the point that I'm kind of walking away with here is like,
do you want to try again? You want to try again? You just want to keep going?
No, I'm not doing any more metaphors. Not too early for that.
Okay.
Whether or not you have kids, it's like, how are you involving your kids or your family or whoever in that thing that you feel compelled to do? Whether it's sitting in the street and writing, which is very noble, and I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
I guess, for me, I guess it would be comparable to if I'm working on something, I'll invite my kids, or if my daughter, like Hazel, will come down and ask if she can draw or paint while I'm working on something.
Yeah.
And I'll always say yes, because that shows me that she's seeing what I'm doing and wants to be involved. So I'll always say yes to that.
I hear you. Can I challenge this for a second?
Sure.
And I'm not even going to wait for you to say sure, but
I already said it.
The reason I think I would like, so what you just said is beautiful. Of course, bring your kids in. I think it's important. I do try and do this with social media sometimes, because I have my own thoughts, my own philosophy, my own unique way of kind of like making sure that social media is sitting in my kids' mind in a different way than maybe what I think it could be, right? So I kind of fear that it's going to like overtake them. It's like, no, let them be stronger than social media. So I always try and bring them kind of in there in some way, watch it, see it, come on video with me. And now they really like to be on camera and kind of talk. But why I'm saying this is because I think today was really important about maybe not involving them all the time. Because sometimes I think when we do involve them, it doesn't allow us to really be reaching for that goal that we're really trying to that goal that we're trying to accomplish. And I'm going to say this, I'm going to very heavily project on this and tell you that I think it's so important to really carve out the time for yourself. So this might sound selfish, but now I think we're towing that line of like, where are they with us? Where are they without us? But I think that it's necessary to do that because I know that so where I'm projecting, am not going to be able to be as efficient with my creativity, which is very hard to do when someone's like there with me and I'm kind of like thinking about them, trying to make sure I'm helping them. I can't let those thoughts flow, make mistakes, correct them, get creative. I can't do all those moments. So I think it's really important. And a call out for some people is one, just to kind of ask yourself again, right? What are the goals and the dreams that you feel like you're really putting off, and be honest with yourself and share them with people so that they can keep you accountable. But then I think more importantly, I think that we want to make sure that to pursue that dream, to pursue whatever we need within this chaos of parenthood, I think that what we have to do is find that small pocket of time that I was trying to, because like Blaze's thing was like fishing with his son. But I think that it's important. Like I was hoping that he might say something like, I want to fish more, right? Okay, then where are you going to take the time to do for yourself? That's not where his mind went. That's okay. But I think the idea here is, where can you really carve out that time? Find a small pocket of time that you can reclaim for yourself or your goals. Blaze was at the gym this morning, right? Blaze is a busy guy at home. So he carved out time to go do that because he has a goal of working on his health, on his, all that kind of stuff. So like that is what I hope that we can empower people to do. Because if we are all only just thinking about how we help somebody, be involved with their kids, got it. I think that we innately want our kids involved and we think that we should, and there's guilt and shame if we don't. But I think let's empower someone to actually have the time for yourself to be creative and focused and build the next thing that is sitting in your mind.
Yeah, I agree with all that. And I think it's also important to carve out that time for whatever it is you're doing. And I think it's important that your kids see you carving out that time. Yeah,
Good point.
I'll invite my kids to like do the thing, whether it's like, going outside or, well, no, it's not like going outside is like my passion. I like it, but it's like, I'm not fighting my kids for that alone outside time.
Yeah.
Like mountain biking. I want to get my kids into mountain biking, and I've kind of failed for the most part up to this point, except it's like, kind of like easier rides. But like, if it's time where I'm, working on a project or, the time where I just need to soak in whatever thoughts or like an idea. If I have to soak and marinate into an idea, then I'll try to get that time.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. In fact, I think it's good for kids to see that their parents have something that they do that they're really invested in.
Yeah, I think that's like, I think the kids need to see that your parents like to be on their own in life, to be like, oh, I think I should find something that I like to do in life. Like my big goal now is to have a solo trip to Norway and go hiking out there. And I think I really want to see, I don't want to just like sneak away to do it. I want to see my kids getting excited for it and going there on my own and sending them pictures and showing them that I'm enjoying myself. To do all of that, because I think that they're at an age right now where I don't think that I'm going to be able to get to a place that I have built up in my mind that is going to be a great spot for me to reflect on who I am and what I want to do. And like, let me just go there on my own and I'll come back with so much more. Like I'm going to be a stronger person, a stronger parent for doing it. At least that's what I think in my mind, but show them that, right? And like, don't like this reading today, I think gives a lot of thought on carving time for yourself, but it does also talk about that multitasking situation where you're combining the parenting and the personal growth, right? But I do want to empower people. Like you do need the time by yourself. You can't always have somebody, your kids wanting to, try and kind of get in the middle of what you're doing, just because I don't think you're going to be as effective. So whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, but you have to find some of that time. And I don't want to keep pushing that thought of combine it. Your kids have to be involved in it, because I think that we are going to leave something, I think, on the field, on the table then.
I didn't really take the reading today as.
Oh, you read it wrong?
Yeah, Ryan, I read it wrong. I didn't read it your way. I didn't really take it as like suggesting that you always have your kids there with you. I took it as like sometimes you have to if you want to produce something. What I didn't like is the last sentence where it said,
yeah.
you don't, it said, just be creative. I hate that line. I hate when somebody says, just be creative. I don't like that.
Oh, wow. Well, I want to hear more. If you heard me telling my kid, just be creative, what's making you recoil?
Because when you tell that to a kid, like,
and speaking as an art teacher, if no one knows, Jason is an art teacher. He's a creative himself.
So it's like when you say creative, it's like kids will generally not have the, like, what does the word mean, creative? Let's like just making something. Like, yeah, I can make something. I can draw a stick figure. But it's like you have to like explain. Sometimes you have to explain like what that looks like. It's like it's like the same thing as, this is kind of specific, but like as a designer and making something for somebody, like when I used to do like logos and stuff, the common trope is just make it pop.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, what does it mean? What do you mean make it pop? It was really frustrating. And there's no definition about it. It was like, what does that mean? Make it bigger? I don't know. But I don't like that was the way the page ended. So I'll give this page an 8 out of 10.
I connect with that wholeheartedly from my side of nutrition, because when people say balance, they'll be like, it's all got to be balanced. I'm like, what does that mean? What does balance mean? Because your balance isn't someone else's balance. Don't just throw that in there.
Well, that one's easy. That just means divide and conquer.
Hate you. But the other thing that people will be like is like, just eat healthy whole foods. What the hell? What do you mean? Like,
yeah, that just means like whole grain foods and fruits.
What does it mean? What are you saying? So it's like all of these things. I don't know. I just get really You're
thinking of the things that people normally say that are very general and milk toast.
Yeah.
That don't really mean anything.
It's the comment to shut somebody up and to make sure that they feel as if they're actually accomplishing something. And I hate those terms. And I don't think you have to be hyper specific, but you do have to be somewhat personalized in how you say things. And, give someone like actionable steps. Like even, okay, here's this, right? We won't do this because I think that it's important for us to say, don't just get creative. Don't just eat balanced and healthy foods, right? Like what are we eating? What are you doing? So
yeah, but Ryan, if I want to know what healthy and balanced foods are, you're the person I'm coming to get that definition. That's literally what you preach. If you don't know what balanced and healthy foods are, Ryan, who does? Where am I going to go?
Exactly. Wait, but I think I'm telling you that you would come to me and I would tell you not that. Wouldn't give you those silly terms, those silly words and phrases. I would tell you, you should eat this specifically, this much, and this is how we can do it. Frequency, volume, specific foods that can be more beneficial for all those things. That's what we want. We want conversation, actionable things just like this. Because if somebody is thinking, well, I want to do my big goal, my big dream. So is there actionable advice, right? Like you. If you're going to get creative.
That's a good way to put it. That's a good way is just is actionable, like things you can literally do after hearing it.
Yeah. Well, that was like when Blaze said, I'm going to go, fishing and throw the poles in there, go fishing in the spring. It's like, well, okay, well, when? Like, what is that? So I think breaking things into those smaller, more manageable chunks. So if someone told me I want to eat healthier, okay, well, what is your goal, right? And then how are we going to kind of look at that in the larger picture? Like, okay, you have a goal of, improving your blood sugar or reducing body fat or, lifting a certain amount of weight. okay, now we can start to kind of work with this. So we can break those things up into smaller, more manageable chunks. Like if a kid wanted to learn how to paint, I'm sure you would end up giving them some sort of advice around a smaller type of goal of, okay, we'll start with drawing on paper, right? Or just start drawing circles.
Creative today. That's all we're gonna do. We're just gonna be creative.
Okay.
Yes, you're right. That's what I do. That's how I would start. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, you gave me a really cool idea for something. I'll show you later.
Look at me, changing lives already. Charge you later. Yeah, I think because I was thinking about this in terms of getting yourself started, and I think for me, I have so many thoughts that will run through my head throughout the day as I kind of go. So, like voice notes. I love to keep note cards around. Like, and I'll be like, okay, this index card is the only amount of space on both sides that I get to use today to have my thoughts. And if I now have too many thoughts, well, then those ideas came secondary and they're not going to be as beneficial. So get done what you can here. So that helps kind of control me on this, right?
See my hands? Good. See how there's handwriting on? Oh, never mind. It mostly washed off. There were like 5 important things on there that I wanted to remember this weekend, but they're gone.
I think we see an error in your planning.
One of them takes place at Hobby Lobby. I got to get something for school. I'll try the note card.
Well, I was going to say I do the note card, but voice notes, right? That can definitely do it. Planners,
no, I think your note card is a better idea. Anything that I try to save on my phone immediately, if I don't look at it in like the next day, then it just kind of gets lost in that digital space. Like I think the best way to do it is have it physical that you can hang on to, like your card, put it in your pocket. A Sharpie works great on your hand if it's that day and you take care of it that day. Not for notes that you want to remember more than 2 days, because my notes are gone. And I know I'm going to start stressing about it on Monday morning when I forget it.
Can I give you a more updated way of maybe it working? Bringing the digital into a more practical space for you. I think this could definitely help. You want it?
I'll take it. I'm probably not going to use it, but I'll consider it.
So you've been to conferences on this, I know. AI. You can use ChatGPT. And by this, what I mean is, I want you to go through your day. I want you to keep like a daily journal. And I want you to, when you have thoughts come up or goals or whatever, type in there and just say note. And then tell them what you're thinking and what you want to accomplish. At the end of the day or the weekend, you say, what should I be doing this weekend? What should I be prioritizing? And it will now remind you of everything you have to do.
Yeah, I enjoy that.
You can sit with a Sharpie on the hand, whatever you want to do. Either one.
I enjoy experimenting with ChatGPT. I'll tell you what not to do if you're feeling a little like down on yourself. What not to do is to do the roast challenge
on ChatGPT.
On ChatGPT, if you, I saw it on Facebook. You ask it to roast you based on all of your previous conversations.
Oh,
and it started really funny, but I lost a bit of sleep. I lost a bit of sleep because of what it was saying and how it roasted me.
Oh no.
Because it was mostly teaching things, right? And I read it, and at first I was laughing, and then like the second paragraph, I was like, "Ooh, that hits close," and I kept reading, and that kind of stuck in my head for like a week. like did somebody ever did somebody ever tell you something like really honest that like you had to hear, and it kind of hurt a little bit? That's how I felt after reading the ChatGPT roast.
This is so funny. You know why?
No.
Kristen, your wife, told me that she was behind it and she was just typing things out. Just kidding.
Thanks, Ryan. Now I'm going to be thinking about that too.
No, I'm kidding. I'm so sorry that happened to you. You let AI take
No,
you
I
down.
think it's good because it is also it was an interesting way of also reconsidering the things that you're doing or thinking through, or maybe like what you're using ChatGPT for. Because I think in a few ways there was a light sprinkling of truth on it.
Sure.
On what it said. So
okay.
Anyway.
It's good. It can bring you back to reality. I think it's necessary. We are well beyond our half an hour time. It is 6 past the hour right now. It's the weekend. We got to get moving. What are we wrapping this up with? Time is precious. Can we say that again? Yeah.
Let's wrap it up with something along the lines of doing what you want to do and give yourself the time you need to do the things that you want to do. How does that sound? Quote worthy?
That's it. Jason is
yes.
An unrealized way of writing closings. All right, guys. Well, have a great Saturday. We love you. We'll see you tomorrow morning. We're out of here.